What's up, Power Warriors? Today is Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. My name's Jarrett McAllister, the virtual solar pro. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, share with your fellow solarpreneurs. Today, we're going to kick this off along my brothers from others, Jonathan Bernasso, Tom Cotter. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm good. I got all my macros in today, Jarrett. So thanks for the app.
Yeah. Which app was that?
That is my Fitness Pal.
Sweet. We should be friends on there. We can make sure we're staying on track.
Yeah.
We have
Very good.
We have a Power Aura Sleep Ring community group. If you want to get in that group, my brother can drop that in the chat if you're willing to share your sleep scores. But I'm in sunny, amazing, beautiful Nevada. I got my greens drinking and went to the gym and ready for an epic day. Let's go. Jarrett, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. All things considered. Actually did wake up with a little bit of an ear infection, which is weird. I haven't had one of those in like 10 years. But, you know, 'tis the season up here. You got little kids. They're all going to school and bringing home the germy germs. But yeah, other than that, ready to rock and roll. Had some pretty exciting things happen. I don't know if we should start wins right now or if we should jump into it. But yeah, I got a pretty cool win to share.
Yeah, let me share two things, and then I'll hand it to you to lead us off with the success stories, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Special shout out to Owen Carey, who, by the way, has hit an epic milestone, over $500,000 of income with Powur in just a little over 2 years. A true leader. He's helping run the California market development meetings now. A great mentor, closes a lot of leads for me. And Malia King, both of them were interviewed last night on Power Hour. So that was a business presentation. I'm going to put the link in the chat here on the Power Hour business presentation. They both crushed it, guys. Like, honestly, probably the best interview of two people on a business presentation for guests that I've seen. So check it out. I did the business presentation. They had an interview at the end. So special shout out to those two. That was awesome last night. And then I want to give another shout out to what a few of us are doing in the operations world. So if you're living under a rock and you weren't on the Monday forum yesterday at 12 Pacific, all the executives were on this epic Zoom call. And we're going to be doing this once a month. So the executives are going to be updating us on different topics every Monday before the master class. So once a month, the Monday before the master class, they're going to do a deep dive. It's open to all tier 2 and tier 3. And then we're going to combine that with another little update on the master class for operations. And then we also have a operations elite group that meets every 2 weeks with the executives, and we discuss and brainstorm the 7 to 10 most painful topics that a lot of you have told us are opportunities and challenges within the business. And so I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat the Monday forum. So you can all go to Knowledge Base. It's going to be Operations Deep Dive. And the Monday forum, you can go ahead and click on that link to watch the previous recordings. And here is the hour call with all the executives. And let me know if you were on that call yesterday. Put it into the chat, because there were like 10 executives on there answering all your guys' questions in real time. And, you know, we have the best platform. We have the best community. We have the best CRM, the best join links, the best marketing, the best training. We all know that. And if operations can fine-tune some of the 7 most common challenges, then it's game on. It's rocket ship taking off. So make sure to check that out. And I will go ahead and toss it back to you, Jarrett, to go ahead and lead us with some success stories. And real fast, one more. If you want to take a screenshot of this Envy Energy $13 bill that I just got, I never get tired of seeing my Envy Energy bill. $11, $12, $13 a month. The haters will say solar doesn't work, but boom, right there. I only pay $13 a month on my electric bill. Thought I would share that for you.
Incredible. That's a huge win in itself, isn't it? But yeah, no, thanks, Jonathan, for sharing that. And I would like to just touch on that operations meeting yesterday, how insightful it was to see our entire back office management, the people who make this whole platform work, to get on a call with all of us to share the vision, to talk about the pain points, what's on the roadmap. Yes, we hear you, right? Because we all know Powur's a phenomenal platform, the best out there, highest commissions, great community, everything that you just said. But we're not perfect, and there are pain points, but this is our company. And I always fall back to that, how much they listen. They truly listen to us. I think, I don't know if it was Cynthia or you, but even made that comment. You're like, there's not a chance that Sunrun or, you know, another big company would hold a meeting like this, listening to the people who really matter the most. And that is the sales representatives, right? We make this company go. And so knowing that they're working tirelessly to make this platform even better for scale, better for all of us, and to help us grow. I absolutely love it. If you weren't on there, you should definitely check out the recording. It is open to tier 2s as well as tier 3s. So make sure you don't miss that next meeting the following month. So with that being, yeah, I just want to talk about that. With that being said, let's share some success stories. If you have one, throw it in the chat. I always love to hear from it. The community, people always say, my favorite thing about these meetings sometimes is hearing success stories, because people get excited, gets people fired up. I have one that I'd like to share with you guys. I just, over the weekend, onboarded the #1 installer in Northern California, Got Watts Electric. Check them out on Yelp. They have like 256 they have like a 4.9 average on Yelp, 256 reviews. They're #1. They have billboards all over the place. Jeremy Carlock, the owner, shout out to him. Really good, solid, ethical gentlemen. They run their business the right way. They're installers are their employees of their company. Solid guys, and now will be a preferred partner in Northern California doing projects moving forward. You guys, enterprise is a game changer for everyone. And even as great as he is doing, business has slowed down for a lot of people. And for him to come on board with enterprise, you know, as an enterprise installer, to be able to take on projects, to be able to utilize our platform, just made sense. It's a winning combination. So shout out Got Watts Electric. Super looking forward to putting my projects with them moving forward. Okay, so that's a win that I had. If you got another one, or if someone else has one they'd like to share, put it in the chat. Jonathan, you said wait, what do we got here? We got
Elu,
oh
Nick,
yeah, we got Nick.
Yep.
Yep.
Hawaii deals.
Yeah, buddy.
2 tier 1 reps moving to tier 2. Hawaii's coming to life. I know Jordan Shaw's out there proposing some deals, and just amazed at our price compared to one of the competition's proposals. Hoping to have a few tier 3 by end of year. Awesome, Elu.
Yeah, beautiful job, Elu. That's a heck of a win, crushing it out there in the islands. And yeah, man, have you been seeing John? Yeah, I'm just gonna share a win for Jordan Shaw right now, even though he's not on here. He's in Hawaii living his best life. I think he's winning. So yeah, there's a win for Jordan Shaw. Frankie, first install in Cali. Congrats, my friend. Great job. And then Tracy just met with Jeremy and my BNI. Small world. Gotta love that. All right. Well, with that said, yeah.
Sorry, someone asked about onboarding an installer. They have questions. Erica in the chat, if you want to connect with her, drop your email. I would also just add to that, Erica, make sure to attend the enterprise meetings in Power Calendar. They're every week. Melissa Dawson, you can ask questions. You could probably watch those recordings. And then I put a YouTube video in the chat of some information to watch if you are going after some installers that you're looking to onboard them at enterprise. So make sure to watch that video, jump in Power Calendar, Melissa Dawson, and then yeah, work with your leadership and ask Jarrett for a 5-hour meeting.
Yeah, and one last thing, and I would tell you this, just like anybody of my, who I would be looking for to help me talk to an installer on board. Specifically Charles, he would say, have they watched What Is My Redline or whatisyourredline.com? Because that's really the foundation that breaks down everything that enterprise has to offer. It's the foundation. From there, if they watch that and they are interested, then you can set up higher conversation with your leadership. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat. So it's whatisyourredline.com. Went ahead, just place that in the chat, share it with any local installer, and then after they've gone through that, if they're interested, that's when you want to bring it to leadership.
Let's move to Power Perspective of the Week with Tom Cotter.
Thanks. Just look at that in the chat there. Bill Conley, 4 personal deals in the last 2 weeks in California.
Sheesh. Who
Well
said?
done.
Woo! Who says California's
Solar
down
Bill.
50%?
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I want you to type into the chat how you see yourself in your power business. What title do you give yourself? Is it a consultant, a salesperson, a business owner, a leader, maybe a lifeguard in our current industry climate where you're helping to rescue installers like Jarrett was just talking about, sales orgs, sales people, a broker, an impact CEO. I'm looking in the chat right now. National team leader, senior solar consultant, catalyst. I like those. No matter what role you play, probably the scariest place you can be is the same place you were last year. So there's 3 traps that you can fall into that keep you stuck. So this is my perspective for today. So the first trap is, first, you obsess over things you can't control. Just look at the news. It's designed to make you fixate on things that you can't change. Your social media feed is full of other people's opinions and even actions that you can't control. Second, you constantly focus on what you don't have. Instead of focusing on your capabilities, you're consumed by your shortcomings. The news, ads, social media often reinforces this mindset. And last, you get trapped either reliving your past or worrying about your future. So these 3 things keep you stuck: focusing on things you can't control, focusing on things you lack, and focusing on the past or the future. So these all make you feel powerless to shape your destiny, where you're made to go. And you spin around like you're in an eddy in a river that gets stuck in a constant spin cycle that never makes progress. That's why the scariest place you can be is the same place you were in last year. As we have a few weeks left in this year, where were you last year, last December? So getting moving forward with some momentum comes when you focus on the one thing that you can control, which is yourself. You focus on things that you do have, which comes with gratitude, and you focus on the present. You get real about where you are and what you need to be doing now, today. Yourself, gratitude, focus on the now, what you need to be doing today. Jarrett, back to you.
Thank you for sharing that, Tom. I absolutely love the that quote. And essentially it's like worrying about things that you have no control over. It truly is just a waste of time, waste of energy. It does you no good. My little brother's girlfriend told me that when I was like 18 years old. She was like 15 years old. Such wisdom from a young lady. And it's so true. Yeah, to not worry about stuff that you have no control over and to focus on the things that you can. So thank you for sharing that, Tom. Great advice. So yeah, let's move on, man. Jonathan, we have some important dates coming up. We got some big things happening, actually starting mañana.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, Jarrett. I think there's some important dates, maybe, according to this slide. So tomorrow, Wednesday, December 6th, masterclass, everyone, 9 a.m. Pacific to 1 Pacific. Irene, Jim, Bobby is going to be training on ambassadors, how we've made hundreds of millions of dollars Powur has from the ambassador program, what some of the best people with the ambassadors and how they're using it. And then we're going to invite ambassadors on a special call as well from headquarters on the 15th of December, Friday. But let's go ahead and back up here. So tomorrow is masterclass, CEO call, end of year, making your goals, setting the intention for 2024 with Jim. He's the best at that. This Friday at 9 Pacific, we have building with Bobby and Irene, again, to teach on ambassadors, how to use the ambassador program. Next week, I look forward to seeing a good amount of you guys in the Orange County, the city of Orange, Lucky Strike, Powur Hitters. We have a few honorary guests coming that aren't necessarily under my team or on the Powur Hitters per se, but reach out to any Powur Hitter. If you're local to Orange County, we have a holiday party, 6 p.m. at Lucky Strike in Orange next week. And then, as I said, Friday, 12:15, live from headquarters, Charles will be in town. And this will be a special event, 11 Pacific, just for ambassadors that want to learn how to make thousands and want to attend a quick Zoom. So get in front of your ambassadors and learn how to use the best tool to get the best referrals. And then on Monday following that event, we're going to invite ambassadors if they want to upgrade to a seller and make more income. So there's a few important dates for you. Screenshot this, write it down. It's in Powur Calendar. And per usual, guys, if you're not inviting guests to the Monday 5 o'clock Pacific Powur Hour, if you don't have your list of potential consultants you're dripping on, you know, you're missing one of the 5 income streams here. Every Tuesday we have this training. Every Wednesday there's lease PPA training. There's enterprise training, all in Powur Calendar. The second Thursday of the month, there's Powur On. So if you're new, you want some new techniques there, you should attend that. Every Friday, building with Bobby, and just tons of trainings on Span, Enphase, Solar Edge, Franklin, SunGauge, and then market-specific development meetings as well, all in Powur Calendar. And make sure to read your newsletter from yesterday. All right, with that, I'm going to hand it over, open up the training for today. I just want to do a quick introduction. So Ashley is someone we were very fortunate to meet through another Powur partner, Danny. She was at another solar company, and Chris and I were lucky enough to meet with her and have her on the team over a year now. So today's training is really how she manages our pipeline, Chris and I. Now, some of you have VAs. A year and a half ago, I used to do all this myself on Monday. I would schedule that day. So some of you do it yourself. Some of you have VAs. Some of you eventually can graduate and get with an Ashley, and 2 or 3 of you could even share the cost of someone like this. So please keep that in mind. And one last thing before I bring her up, pro tip here. You always want 15 to 20 jobs in your pipeline, post-sale and pre-PTO, right? If you want to make 6 figures, 200K, 250K here, you really want to shoot for having 15 to 20 jobs in your pipeline. And when you start to get to 25, 30 jobs or more, that's when you should look into having someone assist you with your pipeline, if it makes sense for you. So with that said, let me go ahead and have Ashley come up. Ashley, do you want me to share the slide deck for you?
Yeah, please, if you can, that'd be great.
All right, let me pull that up, and then I'll bring up your introduction, and you can
Awesome.
tell us about yourself.
Cool.
All
Good morning,
right.
everyone. I'm super excited to be here. So bear with me. I'm a little nervous. So hopefully we'll do good. So I've met some of you, but my name is Ashley and I'm Chris and Jonathan's project manager. I've been working with them for about a year now. I'm super thankful. I've been in the construction industry for 13 years. I was an office manager for my husband's family business in the construction industry. And just within the last 4 years, I transferred to the solar industry where I worked with my friend Danny, and I was an assistant project manager and moved to a full-time project manager in 2020. I am currently in my last semester of my master's. I'll be getting an MBA with a concentration in operations management. So I'm glad to be on the home stretch. And I've put together this slide for you guys to hopefully help you guys learn some ways that I manage our projects and pipelines and things that I've found throughout the last year, what works and what doesn't work. So first we're going to start with selling a clean deal. It's important to make sure that you sell a clean deal for the best experience for your homeowners, right? So in order to make sure your customer gets the best experience, make sure your contracts are complete and nothing is missing. Make sure you have all your electric bills, make sure the names match, make sure all financing documents are there. If it was a battery, make sure all the addendums are there. If you have an electric bill that is uploaded, make sure it matches the interconnection agreement. And then most importantly, if you still need help, you can always contact sales support at powur.com. They're there to help you if you have any issues, before the project moves to assignment. And then important thing to remember is be proactive with your projects, right? So you want to prevent future hiccups in the beginning. So why not sell a clean deal straight from the get-go, right?
Super important. I just want to add to, from the sales side, right? Ashley really digs in a little bit, but you want to set expectations up front on the sales side. And next week, we're going to have Cynthia training on some of the things she does. But we're coming into the holidays, guys. So what does that mean? There could be rain. There could be snow. These cities take 2 weeks off for vacation. Cities shut down, inspections, meter spots, all those things get pushed out a few weeks, and installations start getting scheduled. So pretty soon, installations are going to be pushed out to January. So we have to be the best at setting expectations up front and letting people know that a few people may reach out. The lender may reach out. Powur may send a verification email. Project manager may introduce themselves. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. We all are laser focused to help you. So if you're not setting expectations and doing this upfront and selling a super clean deal and getting it all, you're already setting up the project for failure and setting a bad homeowner experience.
Yes. So moving on to what to expect after a deal is signed. So once you sign the deal, I'm sure you've all seen your emails come through. It's an automated email, but basically Powur will send an email for the next steps. They're going to tell you congratulations on signing your contract. It's going to tell you what's still outstanding and what's not outstanding. If it passes the intake, it's going to be assigned to a project manager, give or take 1 to 3 business days. And then the Powur project manager will send an introduction email, which you can see on the next slide, of what they should expect from their project timeline. So here's a sample of when a Powur project manager gets the project assigned. They basically introduce themselves, tells them how to reach them, and tells them that they're going to be following up with them every step of the way. I highly suggest you inform your homeowners how to use the My Powur app. because that's how Powur is going to communicate with them. It's going to go to their email also, but most likely they're going to, you know, send it and it's going to go to both. So I strongly recommend them get used to the My Powur app. And this is where the PMs will send their weekly updates to the homeowners. They are supposed to touch their projects every 7 days, which is every week. But check milestones, because sometimes the milestones aren't shared, and then you can send your homeowner a quick message, you know, with whatever the milestone is for that week. Here's some expectations. You can find all of this on solarmasterguide.com. I took this directly from there, tweaked it a little bit. But basically, the project manager assignment takes 2 to 3 business days after contract signing, followed by the site survey and welcome call within 2 to 7 days. If you opted into the M1, this usually will take place after the site survey is completed, up to 2 weeks. Designs is a big one. Make sure you give your homeowners a little cushion here. I like to tell them after the site survey, give 1 to 2 weeks for the designers to complete the custom designs. That way, if it's a little bit quicker, great. If it's a little bit longer, you have a little cushion. After the homeowner approves the designs, it's going to go to the permit submitted. But one thing to keep in mind, once it's approved by the homeowner and you notify Powur, they're going to send it off for structural calculation. So it's going to take an additional week or so before that permit gets submitted, because they have to get the structural calculations first. Next, it'll move to permit approval, taking about 4 to 8 weeks, give or take, depending on if it's a battery, if it's, you know, fire approval, if it's a holiday, you know, so certain circumstances take, you know, a little bit longer with corrections and so forth. After the permit is approved, the installation team should be scheduled within 1 to 3 weeks, given their time frame and availability. I like to tell homeowners inspection will be scheduled within 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the city's first available. And this is where your M2 will pay as well. And then lastly, of course, PTO, right? Depends on the utility, 1 to 3 weeks. We saw with Edison, it was up to 60 days. You know, so depending on your location and jurisdiction, it could be 1 to 3 weeks or longer. Okay, so this is on the site survey, the designs and installation pics. So I like to ask for the site survey report to be uploaded to assets, especially if they're calling out a roof, an unpermitted structure, anything like that. So I asked the project managers to upload the site survey report. So we and me and Jonathan and the, you know, potential other sellers can look at it and see what they're talking about. When the designs are completed, I also like to have them upload them so we can see if there is any discrepancies, you know, on site during installation or prior, and to make sure it matches what was sold on the contract. And then 1 week after installation, I asked the project manager for some pictures of the installation, so I can share it with the homeowner. So as you can see here, this was a photo that I asked for, and I actually shared it with the homeowner and told them, you know, please share your solar system and, you know, let them know that they can earn $1,000. And the homeowners love it. They love to see it. They don't get up on the roof. So really they don't know what's on the roof. So this just, you know, shows them how it looks aesthetically.
So I just want to clarify for everyone, just in case you missed this important part here. If you need to see the site survey report or a few pictures of the roof from site survey, you can ask the PM to please upload the report or upload a few pictures of the site survey. Same thing with the CAD designs. And like she said, a week or 2 after the install, again, graciously, respectfully say, hey, do you mind uploading a few pics of the glass on the roof, maybe the combiner box to assets? I'd love to share it with the homeowner. And as you can see, we get the awesome pictures, and then she shares it with the homeowner and says, post this on social media, share this with everybody. We're going to send you $1,000 checks, guys. So some of you may not have even thought of doing these things in your project management cycle. All right, thank you.
So here's some of the scripts that I use, and feel free to screenshot it and use it yourself and tweak it to however you feel. But when a new project gets sold, I actually open up a group message with myself and the customer, or if there's another seller on the project with the other seller, and I basically just introduce myself. Hi, and you put their name. This is so-and-so. I work with so-and-so in Powur to make sure your project goes smoothly. I'll provide you a weekly update here. And then I put the current update, and it might just be hey, your site survey is scheduled for, December 10th, or we're waiting on your permit, or your installation is booked for, X, Y, and Z. So you can, this just opens the conversation and gets them comfortable with you, and to expect that weekly message from you. And then of course, we always ask for referrals along the way. So here's some more scripts that I use. Congrats, your permit was submitted yesterday. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for the permit to be approved. Update you next week. And then don't forget, you can earn $1,000 by sharing with your friends and family, and then put your ambassador link there. And then the other one is about the photos, sharing the photos on social media. Actually tell them what to put on there. So glad I went solar and I'm saving money, owning my own energy, and helping the environment in the process. One with a great company. Let me know if you're interested. So actually give them the script and the photo so that they can upload it on their social media, and hopefully they tag you so they don't have to figure out the verbiage. So that one is what I send when I send them their photos.
Great point. And I always like to add my clients that I've signed deals with or installed to social media. I want every single installed client to be my friend on all social media platforms, guys. And once they see you 7 or 8 times and you're giving them a photo and a script, it's going to increase the referrals that come your way. I put the script in the chat for you guys as well.
So this is in regards to main panels. So this is mostly for Southern California, but I would assume most states have the same thing. This is specifically for Southern California Edison. I personally, when a deal comes through and there's a panel box upgrade on here, I personally call Southern California Edison and I request the main panel upgrade. I've put the number here for you, and it tells you exactly, what options to do. Once the rep gives you the service request number, make sure you upload it into the ticket so that there's no duplicate MPUs called out. And then you can let the homeowners know that Edison will be there between 7 and 10 days, or depending on holidays, maybe 3 to 4 weeks. And then the planner is going to either tag it in same location, or they're going to tag it for a relocation. One thing to remember is you have to make sure your homeowners have a 3 feet by 3 feet clearance workspace, no trees, no windows, no sheds, no nothing in between, because they will mark it and they'll possibly request a relocation. So just always set that expectation with the homeowner for their panel box upgrade.
Yeah, and I know I saw a question in the chat. This is just Southern California Edison. This is going way above and beyond, guys. Powur will request meter spots in all the states. But if you get ahead of this, when you're speaking to a customer discovery call proposal and say, oh, I need a main panel upgrade, we're going to have to get the utility out there. They're going to determine the location. That can take a few weeks. It's the holidays. We're going to get them out there. They're going to leave a sticker, tell us where it needs to be. Sometimes it's a relocation with a little bit extra fees, but we're going to make sure it's approved. For example, it can't be under a patio. It can't be on the cabinet. It has to have 2 grounding rods, right? So if you're competent setting expectation, doesn't matter what state you're in, utility you're in, if you describe the process like that and set the expectations, main panel upgrades is one of the things that can clog a deal down and add delays. So you just have to be really aware and on top of those jobs, and feel free to ask your PM, like, hey, I know designs are done, like, where are we at with the meter spot? So just really good tips when a job has a main panel upgrade.
Yeah. Next is roofing. So when a project has roofing, I like to message the roofing team to make sure it's been assigned. I also ticket the PM, but sometimes you'll get a faster response if you email the roofing department. If it has not been assigned, they'll let you know why. Hey, we're waiting for a blocker to be removed, or we're waiting for the PM to let us know that it's ready. So they'll give you the next steps. And then here's some steps that you should expect on a roofing project that you can set with your homeowner. So after it's been assigned, the roofing installer will open all communications with the homeowner, most likely by email. They'll go over, potential permit timelines. They'll go over roofing colors. They'll go over site survey visits. So they will open full communication with the homeowner. And yes, roofing does require a permit. And you can expect, some are over the counter, some are not. You could expect about a 1 to 2 week turnaround time, give or take. Don't forget, weather is huge for roofs, because the minute they open that roof and there's rain in the forecast, we have problems, right? So they will always look at the forecast before they actually schedule a tear off. Once they schedule the tear off, you have about 1 to 2 weeks time frame. You have the tear off, you have to have a pre-inspection, then you have a shingle inspection at final, or tile, or whatever, comp and lay, and then they have the final inspection. Once they have final inspection, then it's good to go and solar can be started. But just a note, I'm sure everyone already knows this, but the wood is not included in your power contract, right? So if they get on site and they tear it off, and they notice that wood needs to be replaced, you'll get a ticket and they'll tell you, hey, it's X amount of dollars for this. Do you approve? So always let your homeowner know, if you sold a solar deal with roofing, what they're getting, and let them know that there is potentially extras on site for wood. It can't be determined prior. And then once the roof is done, then it's ready to go, for solar to be scheduled. And I like to message the PM, because a lot of times the homeowners will message me, hey, the roof is completed, what's next? And then I'll message the PM, hey, so-and-so, they told me that their roof is completed, can we get install scheduled?
Yeah, and so usually once the roof is done, inspection, roofing done, then we can actually schedule the solar. So is that right, Ashley? And like normally Power won't schedule the solar because often there is delays,
Correct.
or weather or inspection changes on the roof.
Correct.
So once roof's done, then Power will schedule.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, they won't schedule roofing until the roofing department uploads the final inspection into their Power OS system. Then the PM sees that it's finalized, and then they can schedule.
Okay. Yeah, and again, guys, setting expectations up front. Power has a lot of reps and realtors and these people that aren't used to construction. When you lift a roof up, you don't know what's going to be under those layers sometimes. You don't know if there's going to be wood rot or termites or just whatever. The wood underlayment needs to be replaced. Those are sheet boards that cost usually $125 per OSB sheet. And even when one of my houses, the roof was ripped up, there was wood shake under there, and on the spot the roofer called me and said, hey, it's going to be a few thousand more to get all this plywood and do all this holloway. So again, set expectations. With roofing, a lot of unknown things can happen, and if you set it that with the homeowner, it'll just lead to a lot better experience overall.
Right. Permits. So this is like a pain point, right, for all of us, because permits are the longest delays. So I like to set that expectation with the homeowner that your permit's going to take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. If it's done over the counter and done within a week, great. We have a faster turnaround time, right? But normally it's 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes, for example, like Diamond Bar was 12 weeks. Claremont is 4 weeks. So it just really depends on the city's jurisdiction. One thing to remember is with batteries, if it's in LA County or even other jurisdictions now, it has to go to the fire department before it can even be submitted to building and safety. So add an additional 2 to 3 weeks to your already 4 to 6 weeks time frame. With ground mounts, you can expect up to potentially a 3-month turnaround time, depending on if, you know, they have a well or a septic, or they have to go through multiple divisions to get approval. So just set those expectations. What I like to do is, because I've worked with permits for several years, is I know a lot of the cities have public portals. Not all of them do, but some of them do. I will log on if I haven't seen an update from the PM for a while on a permit. I'll check myself. I'll either call them, email them, or I'll go to the online portal to see the status. Sometimes I'll find that a permit's approved and Powur has no idea. So then I message the PM and say, hey, so-and-so, permit's approved. Here's a screenshot. And then it moves it faster. If you're not getting anywhere with the permit, right, and you found that something is approved or is in corrections, book a huddle with your PM, right? We all know that their PMs have huddle links now, as we saw yesterday, which you'll be able to book directly from their the Powur site. But book a PM. It's so good, and things move so much faster. And then these are just some of them, again, because I'm in California. I know that these are available to you to find. County of Los Angeles has a public record, Ontario, Claremont, Rancho Cucamonga. So you can always Google city of whatever, building and safety, and it'll tell you if there's a portal for them or not.
Yeah, I kind of want to show that real quickly. So like, if we're in Corona, building and safety permit department, like there's a phone number, and then plan and check, there's a phone number or email. Sometimes you can check online, but guys, for years, like right here, building inspection at Corona. Hey, I'd love to just check on this status of a permit. I believe, according to my records, it was submitted, 7 weeks ago. I work with the Powur and the contractor for this address. Do you mind giving me an update?
And good job.
And there you go. So you can call, or you can email, or sometimes check the portal. Now, Powur's pretty good at this. Your PM is going to normally be on top of this, and the permit department's going to get better. But if you really want to help push things faster, that is something that Ashley is really, really good at doing. That really helps my brother and my jobs move a lot faster. Okay.
I saw a question in chat. Could the PM share the permit with us? I've asked the PM, like, once it's been approved, hey, can you upload the permit for me? So yeah, always ask your PM. And if you have a good relationship with your PMs, they'll be more than happy to do anything for you. So here's some challenges that I'll get from the homeowners. When a homeowner says, why is it taking so long? I'll often respond, it's either the city, a utility delay, even possibly a code change or an MPU. But remember, we don't like to say that it's not our fault. We always just say, hey, it could be this. Let's give it a couple more days. I'll follow up. I'll circle back with you, and just always make it a positive thing, right? When a homeowner is having trouble of getting a hold of Powur. So sometimes homeowners will be like, I can't reach Powur. I need to get in contact with my PM. How do I get in contact with them? I do know that Powur just upgraded their phone system. So you can have the homeowner email support@powur.com, or you can ask your PM for their text line and say, hey, I have a homeowner trying to reach you. He's tried to reach you by email. What's your text line? What's your call line? And they should be able to provide that to you so your homeowner can reach them. It's been installed. Why is my project taking so long? Usually it's either an inspection delay, an as-built revision that they don't want to call inspection before because they know they'll fail, maybe a PTO delay. So I like to just, again, it goes back to expectations. Give them the timelines, make them happy, make them feel like you're understanding, so that way they're not constantly upset. I do not have PTO and started making payments. So I get this a lot from homeowners. And it's, because of the delays, or maybe the installer was changed and we had to start all over. So I just let them know, hey, if you've had to start making payments, please just send me a copy of it. I'll reach out to Powur. I'll see what they can do. It's not a guarantee. I want to make that clear. It's not a guarantee that Powur is going to approve their electric bill or their loans to be paid, but you can always send it to your PM and just say, hey, this homeowner has been paying for 3 months. We still don't have PTO. We still haven't been installed, whatever the case is. And a lot of times they can, get it approved. And then how I handle stress, right? Lots of coffee, listen to music. Sometimes I yell out loud, but not really. But lots of coffee.
Messages, memes on Instagram all day
Yeah,
long.
lots of just memes to Jonathan on Instagram.
I wanted to, you mentioned a word I want to make sure everyone knows, and it's as-built revisions. Can you describe that for 1 sec? Like, what is that? When does that happen? What does it mean?
Yeah, so as built. So in the beginning of the project, Powur creates a design, gets approved to the city, installer goes on site, and maybe the way we designed it physically on the roof doesn't match. So then they have to change the layout. So that's called an as-built revision, because what's on site does not match what's on the plans. If we were to call for inspection and the plans didn't match the roof, we're going to fail. So a lot of times Powur will, before they schedule the roof or the solar inspection, they'll revise the plans. And a lot of times it's done right then and there when the installer's on site. They'll get in contact with the design team. So it's already in process while they're installing. That's what's called as built, because it does, as built on site matches what is on the design plan. But it has to go back for reapproval a lot of times.
Right. How long can that take?
You're going to go back into queue. So give or take 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even longer, depending on the city.
Yeah, guys. So I just wanted to bring this up because, in the city of Claremont, we had solar on the garage, solar on the house, and the city of Claremont approved a permit where it didn't have 2 disconnect boxes. So the city approved it. Then it got installed. Then we call for an inspection. The inspector then says, hey, it needs a second disconnect box. But yet they approved the permit without a second disconnect box. So what does that mean? We have to do the designs over, submit to the city again, wait in line a few weeks, call the inspector, schedule that inspection, get it approved. Is that Powur's fault? Is that homeowner's fault? Or is that just part of the solar game? So I just want to make you aware that these are the challenges, and you shouldn't react, poorly when these things happen. You should respond and ask for referrals.
Right. Okay, so once it's been installed, this is what I do, before install, at install, PTO, and so forth. So before the install date, I'll send a reminder text to the clients to let them know that they have install coming up. Again, most everybody knows, but I still like to let them know, hey, just a quick reminder, because sometimes they have questions, right? They might say, hey, what time are they going to arrive? Usually arrivals 8 to 10, 7 to 9. It really just depends, right? But I'm there to help them ask and answer those questions. During the install date or day of installation, I'll text the client just to make sure the installers arrived. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, no one's arrived, or hey, yes, they arrived and there's an issue. So they'll present an issue to me that I then can reach out to the PM and get resolved. Post installation date. So the day after installation, I'll text the homeowner a quick message to check in, make sure everything went good. Usually they'll be like, yes, everything went great, I'm excited, or oh, they're coming back to finish X, Y, and Z. And then after I see the install complete milestone, that's when I ask for the installation photos, because sometimes I'll ask for install photos and they'll be like, I'm still waiting for the completion. So I just do it. I mean, you can do it a couple times. Eventually you'll get the photos. So remember, I'm communicating with the homeowner every step of the way, from project from the beginning of the project, including to inspections. So I'm constantly telling them, sometimes I talk to these clients 3 or 4 times a day. At PTO approval, I let the homeowner know that they've been granted permission to operate. And then in the next few days, they're going to get an email from Powur or SolarEdge or Enphase to check their monitoring app. A lot of times the installers will set up the monitoring app at installation. So a lot of them already have it, but it's not fully commissioned. So I just let them know like, hey, you're still going to get an email because they still have to commission it, make sure everything's working. Once I see the project shows power on, I follow up with the homeowner to make sure that they have everything and let them know they're going to get a closeout packet from customer care. I actually got a copy of the closeout packet. And basically it has the Powur Care warranty, it has their designs, and it also has their permit. So those are the 3 things that is in it. And it comes from customer care. So you can always ask your PM, hey, can you send me a copy of the closeout package? Some will, some may not, but yeah, there's a copy of it right there.
And to follow up on our last meeting or 2, someone asked if we can be CC'd on the closeout packet, which it's being talked about. So stay tuned for more, but Powur does send out this closeout packet, which contains warranty, extended warranty, permit card, design plans, panel inverter specs. And guys, my prior companies didn't used to do this. So Powur standard warranty, extended warranty, CAD permits. So it's a very nice document. Often it has spec sheets here towards the bottom, the brand of the panel, the brand of the inverter, and then even some of the structural calcs, whatnot, as well as the city sign-off card. So really impressive. Again, Solar City, Tesla, Sunrun, Freedom, whatever, like they didn't send this nice closeout packet. So it's something that we have at Powur. All right. Okay, and then one question in the chat we can answer. Someone said, if the installer does show up at the house for an install or an inspection or a repair, and the homeowner didn't know about it or get the notice or somehow is lost in communication, how do you handle that? If the homeowner reaches out like, what's going on? Why is this person here? Or something
So
like that.
oftentimes I'll apologize like, hey, I'm sorry that, they didn't reach out, let me follow up with your Powur project manager and see what happened, where the miscommunication was. And a lot of times it's the installer didn't tell Powur, so Powur couldn't respond to the homeowner. So then I asked the project manager to reach out to the homeowner to, put them at ease a little bit. But I just apologized on behalf and just, say that, sorry for the miscommunication, but let me see what happened.
Right.
I mean, that's all you really can do at that point, yeah, that's really all you can do.
Right. How to work best with your PMs to wrap things up here, guys, and stay positive and constructive.
So I actually have a really good relationship with 99% of the PMs I work with. And if you set those communication levels with your PMs, you're going to see your projects and tickets and everything be progressed pretty well, right? I always check the milestones and notes. So every week, I go through my Excel sheet for both John and Chris's projects, because sometimes emails get lost when you get the ticket. So I like to open every single project and just check. They're always going to put notes in there. Sometimes they won't respond to your ticket because it's already been in milestones. Check your tickets daily or weekly. If you've ticketed a PM, make sure you understand their normal timelines of 24 to 48 business hours. If and only if it's exceeded those business hours, then create another ticket. But don't just keep creating a ticket and you haven't given them time. Don't blow them up with tons of communications, ticket replies, emails, and texts. Just wait until they answer. If they don't answer, then you can escalate it. Always remove emotions and stick to facts. Always be courteous and kind and respectful. Thank them for their help or ask them if they mind checking X, Y, and Z. put a smiley face, send them Amazon or Starbucks gift cards to their email, which I love doing because they provide better service when they feel appreciated, right? So a lot of times they're getting hit with things that are out of their control, and they sometimes feel, you know, a little bit of stress. So it just helps them, you know, with their day. And follow the art of communication steps, which is also in solarmastercard.com. I think John shared before. Book a huddle with them. If you can't resolve something, book a huddle. If a PM doesn't respond and you've commented on the same note, then escalate it to communication escalation at powur.com. Send them a screenshot, and they're pretty responsive, and they'll tag the person, whoever it needs to be. I find that with Zendesk tickets now, if a PM is out, they have somebody covering their projects, right? So somebody's gonna respond to you. It may not be the PM. It may be someone saying, hey, so-and-so is out for today. They'll get back to you on whatever. Or what I like to do, sometimes you can, you know, contact the tier 3 PM, and sometimes they can help you if it's an urgent issue.
Beautiful. Yeah, and same day issues, guys. You know, if you look at the art of communication, and we've trained on this before, same day, immediate escalations, you're supposed to call the 866 go Powur, and there is an escalation same day leaks option you can pick. Obviously, you can ticket the PM. You could book a huddle. You could go to the live chat. So there's literally multiple resources, better than most companies, to get a question answered or get it escalated within moments, multiple ways. And now with the huddle, it's even better.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
So I know we're at the top of the hour, but give Ashley some love in the chat, everyone. I mean, you can see why Chris and I are lucky to have her. And she's managed, you know, hundreds of jobs for us now. At one given time, she was managing over 180, 190?
Yeah, 180, almost 190.
180 to 90 jobs at the same time before PTO with these techniques. You know, her last company went out of business, and we're just super lucky to have her. And because Chris and I have, you know, successful enterprise accounts, some of our level 1, level 2s, or seated sellers get to have a meeting with her and a pipeline review with her. So if that's you, feel free to send us a direct message, but Powur has tons of resources. And Ashley, can't thank you enough for this training. Lots of love in the chat for you. This recording will be shared, and this recording's super valuable to share with your teams, with people new to solar, because too many of us are just reacting. You know, 2 out of 3 jobs out of 10 will be troublesome, will be delays, will be challenges, will screw wrong holes, will leave a little mess, things like that. But together with the right company, culture, community, team, expectations, using some of this training, we're going to be better and better and better. So thank you, Ashley. And we can stop this recording and hang out for a little bit. Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, guys. You're welcome.